Despite there being a place called Iowa City, Des Moines is the capital and largest city in the state of Iowa. So let's check out the stadiums and arenas of Des Moines, Iowa. Drake Stadium. This Drake might be overshadowed by the rapper of the same name, but the Drake Relays is one of the biggest track meets in the country. In fact, this is one of just a handful of college football stadiums that is better known for hosting track and field than football. The other notable one being Franklin Field in Philadelphia, host of the Penn Relays. Blue running tracks are somewhat common nowadays. However, that certainly wasn't the case in 1989, when Drake Stadium first installed one, which is why it was given the nickname the Blue Oval. For me, the best aspect of the stadium also forms an oval of sorts, and that is the wraparound brick facade. Not quite as impressive as Franklin Field, but it's beautiful nonetheless. A short stroll down the road is Knapp Center. There are many buildings in the city that are named after William Knapp. I think he's some prominent real estate guy, but this is probably the best Knapp of the lot. It's the home of Drake's women's volleyball, women's basketball, and men's basketball teams. However, it's the women's basketball team that's been really hard to beat here. They hold the Missouri Valley Conference win streak record of 47. More important than any of that, though, is another event this arena hosts every year, and that is the beautiful Bulldog contest during the Drake Relays. This is Pumpkin, the 2024 winner. Very beautiful Bulldog. Just think of it, Pumpkin had wolf ancestors. Valley Stadium is home to the West Des Moines Valley Tigers, who are actually a high school team. This is a pretty sizable and impressive high school football stadium considering that it's not in the South. The design is typical with metal bench seating throughout, but it seems to be in good condition. There's a decent sized video board which is angled towards the main stand. A little unconventional, but it makes sense. Oh, and I've noticed that a lot of American football players like to thank God during a post-game interview. But it's not the most efficient means of communication. I mean, what if he's watching another game? Or maybe the Blue God is watching, and they think you're referring to them. Well, the Christian players need not worry because they have a direct line to God at the Valley Church just over here. Wells Fargo Arena. Not to be confused with Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. This may be the smaller of the two, but I definitely think this exterior, which combines red brick and an interesting metallic cladding up top, is much more impressive. It's in a nicer location by the river as well, as opposed to in the midst of a huge car park. But the title sponsor is completely irrelevant. I don't know why I'm comparing the two. Wait a minute, why have I brought up Philadelphia twice in this video already? That's odd. Anyway, this is the largest arena in Iowa, and while it might not be home to any major teams, it still keeps busy. A minor league basketball team, a minor league hockey team, and an arena football team call this place home. So the changeover crew keeps busy as well. The one section that doesn't keep busy is the upper tier of seating. It is often topped off. Principal Park is situated at a prime location where the Des Moines and Raccoon Rivers meet. Just like the Iowa Wolves that we saw earlier, this team's logo makes it clear who their major league affiliate is. Also, they're called the Cubs. So if you haven't got it by now, other than the location, it is a pretty typical minor league ballpark, I suppose, with plenty of seating options, including a restaurant in left field with views of the field that is open even when there's no game on. Although I think they may have gone out of business, I'm not sure, doesn't matter. Spectators get a view of the rather spectacular Iowa State House. And over on the other side of the ballpark is a mini version of the ballpark, so that's cool. Buccaneer Arena. Unlike the previous place, this is situated on the banks of a major road rather than a river. In fact, it's also known as the Madhouse on Hickman, Hickman Road being the road's name. Sure, it's not quite as tranquil as a river, but at least you won't drown on the Hickman. Getting run over by a truck going 70 miles an hour is generally a quicker death. This is a humble little venue that has hosted ice hockey ever since it opened in 1961, and it's probably safe to say that its best days are behind it. Although since last year it's been home to a second-tier futsal team, so, you know, maybe that's the start of a resurgence. Now for some honourable mentions. At the State Fairgrounds there are a couple of agricultural venues, this huge grandstand being the biggest and best of the lot. That facade is actually quite beautiful. Back at the Drake campus there is MediaCom Stadium, home of Drake soccer, and high school football is held here as well. It holds just 4,000 spectators. And those were the stadiums of Des Moines. As for my favourite, I was tempted by the brickwork at Drake Stadium, but I'll stand by my principles and go with, that ballpark. Forgot its name. I always love a stadium that you can kayak to and from. Thanks for watching, have a good one.